Okay. Oh, hi. This is Raymond, and he's got a very interesting story to tell. We'll start at the end, if you like. You've had a busy morning, Raymond. What?
I have. I've just finished taking my Chinese bike to the scrapyard by pushing it. It took me an hour and a half to push it because it was non-running. It wouldn't start. There's no wheel bearings, and the only way of getting it to the scrapyard was to push it without having to pay more money out to tow it.
Let's go back to the beginning. When did you buy the bike in the first place?
It was about 9 months ago.
And what happened from the beginning?
When you order it, you see it online, everything looks really good, you see the price and you think, I'm going to get that. It arrived in a box, which was in a frame. You have to rip apart the box, rip apart the frame. Once you do that, you open the seat cover and there's a little book in there that tells you how to take it out of the box after you spend about 5 or 6 hours trying to get it out yourself, and then it's all in parts and you have to put the parts together following a manual which isn't in any sort of comprehensible English.
And then what problems have you had with it over the last few months?
The first problem was the flasher unit went, in which I phoned up and they sent me a replacement flasher unit and didn't tell me how to fix it or where it was. They said it was inside the bike and I had to take off all the panels and then found a part similar and replaced it. I then had to get the flasher unit replaced again at a later date. The other problems I've had with it are, well, when it arrived, none of the panels lined up. There was a big hole underneath it in the step-through part. I've had the brake bracket snap on it, which made the brake cable go loose. That was whilst I was driving on the Westway, which is a 50-mile-an-hour road, which is quite a dangerous time for it to go.
The problems with starting, you see.
Oh, yep, there's been starting problems on it. When I arrived, it never had a battery fitting pack, so I had to put a makeshift one on. It needs a jump start once a month, if not once every 1.5 months for it to get going. The alternator doesn't charge it, and a replacement alternator for it's about £300 for them to come out, for them to fix it, the labour and the parts for it to then charge the bike. The kickstart on it as well doesn't work. It just spins round in circles on the side and doesn't actually offer any kick facility to it. The brakes don't really work on them at all.
You were telling me the engine was running.
Oh yeah, when I turn the ignition off, the engine stays on, and you have to put the kickstand down in order to turn the engine off, and then bring it back up again. The electrics are off when the ignition's on, but the bike stays on, the engine still stays running.
Okay, apart from the warranty problems that you've had, and the weight and the inconvenience, in monetary terms, it's cost you more than the list price was. What was it?
The list price was £799. As it comes unregistered, I had to pay £110 to tow it to the DVLA, £80 for registration. That's just the initial bit. It took about a month to get all the plates made up, which also cost you an extra 15-20 odd quid to get the plates made up. In parts wise, I've probably spent about £800-900, so it's cost me between £1.5 to £2 for the bike to last 9 months, which I then tried to sell recently, but nobody wants to buy it off me. I can't sell it on even eBay, Bike Trader, Gumtree. I've had to, like I said at the beginning, had to put in what's known as voluntary vehicle surrender. So I had to surrender the vehicle over this morning, wheeling it down the road for about an hour and a half because I didn't want to spend out more money on a tow and it wouldn't start to get me there.
I love the idea you had of leaving the key in it.
Well, I did actually leave the key in the back of the bike and leave it on an estate where I live, which is quite a rough estate, hoping that something might happen to it. But I come back 3 days later and it was still there, which is a bad sign, really.
Well, I'm glad you're still laughing about it. You've got a sense of humour for sure. Thanks ever so much for sharing that with us.
That's
Let's
no
see if we
worries.
can sort you out.
No worries.